again, you guys are listening. You could make your own assumptions. I mean, your own opinions about what is being said, what is being written right now under the comments. Ms. Byars needed to speak about some things that are important to her.
Mm-hmm.
And, we give her the platform to go ahead and say what's on her mind.
Let me just say something else.
Sure, go ahead.
Anybody who's seen me around has seen me out in the field with bylaws. I go around nearly at least 3 times a week out in the field, meeting with members to talk about helping them to understand the platform of how our union operates and functions. I do it often. I've been in maintenance of way. I've been in buses. I've been talking to people about us just coming together, helping them to understand how our union functions. That's what I'm about, and that's what I'm focused on. That's what I had become a member of Progressive Action for, because that was the platform that I was told that we were going to do these types of things on, and this is what we were going to push it forward. For a while, things did work out that way, and then, it just went terribly left. And I'm happy. I feel a lot better being away, and I'm able to do more and to connect with more people and to really push the narrative of us coming together and being strong, being union strong. There's no reason for us to be divided as members. We have to work together. And if that doesn't become the mantra of what it is that we're going to do going forward, it's going to be hard for us to do anything.
Yeah, it just like you said, this division is not helping the membership. So we stand with anybody who's trying to move us all forward together. Again, you don't need groups among
factions.
We really don't.
We don't
it's
need
good that we
anything that's
have.
going to divide us. And understand something. We're women, right? Tremel,
women.
we're women. I mean, not y'all guys, but we're women.
Yes.
And one of the things that caused this whole thing divide, because me and Kimberly did excellent work together. We've gotten along up until today. This is the first time that we've ever had a disagreement. We've always been in agreement. We've always worked and held each other down and did things together. It wasn't until Tremel went behind their backs and asked me to organize a women's brunch, right? Without letting the ladies first know what was going on. I didn't know that they didn't know. And as I started to organize it, I realized that something about this whole situation was wrong. So I approached Jocelyn about it. I tried to talk to Tremel about it, and it just got out of hand to where I didn't want any parts of it. I would, let everybody know that it was happening, but I would not be responsible for it, because in organizing and understanding how things go, the way that this was going about being put together, it was all wrong. I had a discussion with Kimberly. She thought, that I was just being indecisive. I told her, no, I'm being contacted and told constantly to change the date. Don't do this, don't do that. So that's why after we have a discussion, things have to consistently change. The way to handle something like that is if you're taking something away from somebody or you're changing things around, you need to let them know first. By the time it got to a place where we were all talking together, it was like the last minute, we were all in a group chat, and I just asked to be taken out of the group. I didn't want to be a part of that. It was very, very divisive, and I didn't want to be with the backbiting and the infighting and the who said this and we're going to do that. Just take me off. You guys do what you've been doing, and I'll support it, right? And that's what I did. So if they don't like that, there's nothing else I could do about it, but that was basically it, okay? And before that, before he came and did that, we didn't have these types of factions and division going forward. But I wish those ladies all the best. I'm going to continue to show them respect, and when I see them out in the field or wherever, it'll always be love, and I'm moving this ship forward as far as uniting our local. I am going to continue to work hard to bring the local together, to bring the women together, because we have a lot of issues and stuff that we need to work on, and it cannot happen if we have this little petty nonsense going on, because that's what it is.
You got to put that aside.
Exactly, because it's not important.
Even you ladies that are texting right now, not texting, commenting, can see that a couple of you are pretty angry.
Yeah.
Very angry. Yeah. But I don't know if right now you guys could just put that aside, the whole Tremel, the whole Progressive Action, and just get together and just like you say, just move the membership forward. And if they're doing something good that works for us, I'm down with that too. Like, I mean, we really can't say I have a problem with the group Progressive Action.
We never said that.
No, he does say a lot of things that are very important for us to know.
He has a lot of good ideas. He does a lot of good stuff, but it just some of the things he do we just don't agree with, and that's on
that's
him.
just anyone. You
that
don't have to agree with anything that everybody says.
Action or whatever. But we here, like, we like to just give everybody both sides of the story.
And you guys make, you go ahead
make your own decisions.
Make your own decision.
But if you ever have any information that you want to pass on to the members, this is a platform you can always come to and just do it freely. I mean,
right.
It is what it is. We're not going to try to sandbag you and be like, you're lying.
No, I'm not worried about that.
Put your information
there's
out.
a lot
we
of
just
people,
know what I know what I stand for with my membership.
There's a lot of people who understand why I left. Just watching the comments, you can see why I left.
Like Shop Stewart Nas said, no union without unity.
Exactly. The people united will never be defeated. We have to be together.
We're already fighting against what is the governor? We're already fighting against our employers. Yeah. Our employers. The moment that we get our job, they're ready to fire us, looking for anything to get rid of us.
But
and all we're doing is creating groups, different groups, and fighting each other. Like you said, this infighting. And the people look at this and they just laugh at us because all we're doing is arguing with each other instead of saying, come together. The ones with the minds to move the membership forward. Put the shit aside, sit together, get all your ideas together, and just say, look, work things out, and get this fight going against the right people, not us. Me fighting with you for that's not gonna do anything.
Exactly.
It's not gonna do anything. We keep saying that and argue until we're blue in the face with each other, and we're never gonna get anywhere.
Right.
Well, I think it's time that someone stood up and took a position, and I have, instead of just talking behind Tramel's back, because it's important that we get back to doing what's important, and that's basically fighting for our local, and that's my position going forward, and that's how I'm moving, and that's how everybody else is moving too, because there's no way for us to win anything for it to continue to go this way, right?
Yep.
And people are not going to join on to something that is constantly causing friction and division and divisive. You have to allow people to be able to come together and be able to exercise, what it is that they want to offer to whatever it is that's happening, not according to what you dictate or whatever. So I'm just excited about what we're going to be doing moving forward.
You have something that's coming up?
Yeah, well, basically, myself and a lot of people from other departments are coming together. We've been having meetings to basically, begin to exactly what I'm talking about, which is move our union forward. In the days to come, you'll hear more about what it is and the things that we're working on. I don't want to be premature and just start saying, everything that's going on, but you definitely will hear about it. There's a lot of things that are happening. I'm really energized behind the membership and what it is that they're doing to really begin to take ownership and move ahead. So that's where we are with that.
Okay, and as time goes by, we will hear more.
But I just want to give some updates on something. Go ahead. I think it is important that you guys, pay attention to the fact that right now, the contract is ratified. The President Yatano they're going to be forming committees now. We have to stay vigilant because those committees do not have to come to us to ask us permission for whatever changes or whatever agreements that are going to be placed in our contract. The committees are going to come together, they'll convene, and we've already ratified the contract, and the committees will come together to make whatever decisions that are going to be made about what are going to be what's going to be done to move us forward. When asked Yatano, who are going to be on the committees, he said the VPs of the departments when it's something that's departmental, but anything that is union wide, it'll be him and whoever else he decides to be on the committee. Right now, excuse me, they're working on FMLA, paid family leave, restrictive duty, and swaps. So that's not really heavy like that, but as time progresses, it's going to get more and more where they're dealing with things that are more complex in our contract and our collective bargaining agreement. We know that it was stolen from us. They never ever showed us a collective bargaining agreement in writing. It was shown to us on the screen. It was ratified, and I feel personally that my personal take is that we were robbed, you know, and we were strong-armed into this deal, and this is why we got to get in position for next election and for the next contract fight.
What do you think about the whole electronic voting? You think that would ever happen with us?
Electronic voting can happen. When it first came to the E-Board, it was bought by Mr. Ireland. President Yatano didn't want to deal with it at the time, so they sort of, you know, backed it down to where he couldn't, we couldn't bring it to floor to vote on or to even discuss. And now going forward, it's a whole bunch of stuff happening around electronic voting. Well, there's nothing happening as far as like us voting on it for it to become a part of it. But right now, Mr. Ireland had did something with True Ballot, and after he went to True Ballot and did whatever he did,
that's like that lawyers and stuff
or something like that, right. And he's been brought up on charges, so we're dealing with that right now. Wow. But I'm sure that somebody will bring electronic voting back soon, and we'll begin to discuss it and to see where it goes. The union's position is that they don't want it because it could be fraudulent, meaning that people, there's no way to really protect the technology behind electronic voting.
That's a lie.
We know that that's not true.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Right.
Other agencies are using it, so.
Right. Everybody, listen, we use debit cards, credit cards.
It's just like the Chronos. Other agencies have been using it for this long, and we just getting it.
Right.
You know,
so it's not something that can't be implemented. It can be implemented. Yeah. We just have to come together and push it, and it'll get there.
So as a executive board member, I know down in stations, they really don't really get a chance to meet their union representatives, right? Mm-hmm. So while you're here, can anybody in stations contact you if they have any questions about anything union wise?
Yeah, and there's people in their department right now that's doing a lot of work. Tawana Johnson, Meek McPhinney, Anthony Stately. They are out organizing. Another young lady named Tiffany. There are people out that are not actually a part of the E-Board that are getting the information out. They were the reason why you saw that strong vote of no confidence for the stations department, because they were out getting the information to the members, letting them know that the contract was not in their favor. So they had someone to juxtapose, you know, the position of Richard and what he was telling the station, and they basically countered it and was able to get a strong vote. They weren't able to, you know, to beat him because, you know, that everybody didn't get their ballots to be able to vote and things of that nature. But if you look at the fact that with people not being able to cast their vote, and that strong vote of no confidence shows that there is going to be a change in stations. In MOW, you saw the same thing in track. The rest of the departments we weren't really able to get to that much, but in the areas where we were able to get there, you saw a change in the voting. So it helped me it reaffirmed in me that the work that, you know, I had been doing and we had been out there doing, that it was working.
This has been a very interesting show, guys. For sure.
It's only going to get better because the more people unite.
And I would just tell you again, because you said you haven't really known what we do here, but we're not a political show at all.
Oh, okay.
At all.
We're a variety show.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
gotta say, what Progressive Action does and what we do is totally different. We're here, or we have fun with our coworkers. I have a group next to us, police for operators and transit workers, where we post about anything. We talk about anything about customers. We put jokes, memes. We have fun, and then this is just like a live a live broadcast of what goes on in that group.
Okay.
You know, so we talk about just about everything. But when there is something important that has to do with a membership, with a local, we do have guests that come in and speak to everybody. But again, so if there's anything that you have information that you want to pass on and you want us to put it out there, we put it out. Because again, we're this is not a political show, but we are open to pass information whenever is important for the membership.
There's no agenda.
Well, I
here.
really thank you guys for having me on.
No, thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
Next time we'll be dealing with more of just union business, and
anytime you have something that you want to share and you want to bring it here, just let us know. Again, if you start watching what we do, you'll see that we don't, this is not our thing. Politics is not our thing, but we will bring those that speak about anything in transit, and just like we did with you today, you say whatever you need to say, speak about whatever you need to speak.
Because we also feel like there's like, especially like down in stations and stuff, they don't get a chance to see or hear you.
Right.
So if those people are here, they'll be able to see you. They'll get, okay, well, we got Evangeline. If anything, I could call them and get them information and get to you. So it's just just a step to move the union together.
Right. And it's something that happens when people are really oppressed. And it starts to really affect their livelihood, and it becomes something that's very personal. They begin to rise up. They begin to you see people who will come out of the background who you never thought had it in them, because they're just like, I can't take this anymore. And we're basically at that junction now. Transit is really moving ahead with their agenda to basically break this union. And we have to understand that labor is what unions and labor has protected us all of this time. Right? So when I came into transit and I'm sitting there and I'm hearing about what, how I'm going to get paid and all these different things, OTO, vacation, all of these things happen within my collective bargaining agreement and our collective bargaining agreement. The more that document is broken and weakened, the less we have to move forward with, right? I met a gentleman, his name is Mr. Whitehead, and he was telling me about the history. He worked for in stations, as a matter of fact, and he moved up to management. He retired as a manager. But one of the things he said was he was around during the civil rights movement when Quill and Martin Luther King was traveling the country talking about unions and the power of unions, why people should join unions, why unions should form, and what was happening here in New York. This man was unemployed at the time, living in the South, struggling with his wife and family. And after he heard Quill speak, went home that evening and told his wife, he influenced, had an impact on him. And he said, listen, we're going north, right? We're going north. And he came into transit, worked here for 30 years, retired, and is still living off of his pension now because he was tier 1, right? Ooh. So he had a real pension, not what we have with tier 6. And when I was talking to him about it, and we were having this discussion, it was just interesting to me that sometimes you'll be talking to people and you don't know who you're talking to, right? Here this man is a direct, representation of all of the things that we've lost, right? Healthcare, pension, him and his wife is a retired school teacher, and they're living well, off of their pension and what it is that they have. And we need to get back to that, We need to start to show people power so that we can get back to that place where we have a pension of something that means something.
Yeah, the way it's going now, by the time you retire, you're still gonna need to work. That's what it's looking like.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like you said, it's not just transit. It's the governor. It's even the president that's trying to break the union.
And it's happening not only in our local, it's happening all over.
Yeah,
but because I'm a part of TWU Local 100, what happens here really directly, impacts me. So
exactly.
It's important for us to just stay vigilant and keep fighting.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Perfect. Anytime, Ms. Byars. So, any last words to contact you?
Well, everybody who's here, they have my Facebook. My telephone number, if you need to call me, is 917-932-5482. My number again is 917-932-5482. You can inbox me. I respond. Whatever it is that you need or assistance, if you want to ask me any questions or anything, you can always inbox me, and I'll be more than happy to reply. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope that this was informative about why I left Progressive Action. And thank you so much again for having me.
Again, we're not slamming anything about Progressive Action. Again, they're the political. If you want information on the politics and all that shit, you can go over there and get it. We're just gonna give you everybody's side of the story. Now, before you leave, you want to touch up again on the GoFundMe?
Yes. So the GoFundMe is, you can go on my page and find it.
And we're gonna put the link up too.
The GoFundMe is to Desmond St. Louis. It's going to Desmond St. Louis. Is paying attorney fees and helping him with his bills and stuff while he's fighting to get his job back.
What happened with him again?
He was assaulted by a woman on the bus. She spit on him. She told him that she had AIDS.
Ooh,
and
Jesus Christ.
As a result, she should have been arrested. She wasn't arrested.
She wasn't arrested.
And as a result, he was terminated, and now he's fighting to get his job back. There's so many things happening right now with assaults. Assaults are up throughout the system.
Yeah.
That's something that we all need to really be vigilant about and figure out how we're gonna move forward. And when we're going to say enough is enough. We can strike in the case of safety. So when it comes to our safety and our well-being, we can make a move, and we can make a move as far as striking or doing a job action to let them know. There should be safety stand-downs all across the system based on the level of assaults and stuff that's up. I don't know if they're waiting for somebody to be murdered. But it seems like it's moving in that direction. Right. Not only that, when it comes to assaults, when we sign up to work for transit, we never sign up on that we may not go home to our family.
Exactly.
Right? There are other titles and jobs that they do, but it's becoming almost as if that is becoming a culture of what could be happening if you work for New York City Transit, and we need to stop that before it becomes something.
Yeah, because the more people see that they do these things to get away with it, they're gonna
continue. It's like becoming a thing.
You need to set an example. Somebody need to get 7 joints.
Exactly.
7 joints.
So
you need to set that example.
Right.
Well, again, thank you to Ms. Byars for joining us. As usual. So again, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I know you had a lot to say, and guys that commented, if you didn't get your answers, maybe Ms. Byars will see it later and respond however she feels like responding. But we didn't want to have all this negativity here in the show. But your comments have been read, and
don't forget to donate. Every little bit counts.
Yes, for sure. No matter what you can, let's help the brother out, because definitely needs it. This was not a way to end your job. I would have done something like that too. Hold the person down until the cops come.
Exactly.
You would not think you get fired over that.
You can't do that. You cannot hold a person down.
No, man. If a woman spit, I would probably do the same thing. Tell her you got AIDS, you're gonna grab the person away from the cops.
In that situation, they're gonna charge you for kidnapping.
Go. We gotta go.
Like what you watch, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button to stay up to date, and don't forget to like the video.